I started teaching because I love the subject. Economics is fascinating as a field. Things I love about teaching is community here in Lasal is very dynamic and very diverse. What I hate about teaching is, of course, the checking of papers. I mean, it's tedious that you have to go through everyone's papers. So, that's about it.
I started to teach because I've always wanted to try it. And when I was still a student, I looked at my professors and thought that it might be fun to do what they're doing, and it might be actually a fulfilling career. So when I first had the chance to try teaching, I grabbed it and I applied, and luckily the economics department accepted me. Okay, so one of the things that I love about teaching is being able to offer students a new perspective. Because since I'm still a young prof and the students are around my age, we practically know roughly the same things. We practically come from the same backgrounds. But being in my position as the professor in a class, I'm able to show them certain ways of looking at things that they might not have thought before. And having them realize that is actually a very fulfilling experience. More than that, being as a teacher, you get to meet a lot of different types of people, and you learn how to interact with them. You learn how to bring the best out of them. And I'd like to think that we as professors are able to do that.
Teacher wasn't really part of my plan when I was in college, but one thing led to the other, and here I am now as a professor of economics. And what I really love about teaching is the seeing the students learn on their own, and how they apply it into their research papers, and eventually seeing them graduate and become the person, or the person that they want to be, is really a fulfillment for me. So that's why I love my job as a teacher. So.
I actually chose teaching by accident. Although I come from a family of teachers. My mother was a high school teacher. My lolo on my father's side was also a teacher. And I saw the way my mother worked as a teacher. I know I observed that she would sleep late at night, wake up early. She would sleep late at night because she would prepare her lesson plan and her lectures, and then she would leave early. And I said to myself, she was having such a difficult time. And I swore at that time that I would never be a teacher. So my first professional job really was in government. I joined the National Economic and Development Authority because I was interested in developing the country. Now, of course, I was not an economics major. My undergraduate degree was not in economics, so I felt the need to do some graduate work in economics. Unfortunately, NEDA financed part of my graduate work. I took advantage of certain scholarships that were available. Eventually, I earned my PhD in economics. And I planned to return to NEDA. But then I was prevailed upon by one of my professors, who also happened to be my thesis or dissertation advisor, to join De La Salle University. Although he was a professor at the University of the Philippines where I earned my PhD, he transferred to De La Salle University. And it was then that and he told me to join him. Although I was hesitant, out out of a sense of gratitude for his help in guiding me through my dissertation, I said yes. And my plan was perhaps to teach a few years and then go back to government service, just to appease him. Now, when I was at De La Salle University, I started teaching. After a few terms teaching, I was getting good feedback from my students regarding my teaching. I was getting good scores in my teaching evaluation. In fact, I was nominated 3 times as outstanding teacher by my students. And then I eventually won the most outstanding teacher award. At the same time, I realized that I was enjoying my work as a teacher and also as a researcher. And so it dawned on me that perhaps teaching is something I would like to do for the rest of my life. And so that's it. I ended up deciding to stay here at De La Salle University to teach. So that's the story of my life.